Hello everyone, how you going? And welcome back to what I like to call Black Magic Ridiculousness, the sub that has just been melting minds since the dawn of time, because really, like it says, there is just no other good explanation for anything that we see here. I mean, of course, some of these posts are just downright magic tricks that someone out there supposedly knows how to do, but really, for the rest of us, it just completely blows our minds, and really does just leave us wondering how many people attend Hogwarts each year. But anyway, let's jump straight into it, shall we? So then, in that case, just starting off with when two bubble rings collide in the ocean. Now, obviously, we've seen one bubble ring, but I don't know if we've ever seen two colliding bubble rings. Let's see. Oh, is one way bigger than the other? Oh, are they going to lock in? We're going to have a Venn. No, we don't have a Venn diagram. We have something. Wait, what the hell is going on here? Oh my goodness. Wait, are they forming one? Don't tell me they're forming one ring. It's like a DNA chain unraveling. Look at that. Oh no, and it's kind of kicked off a little bit. Wow, but the fact that it's still intact, I mean, I don't know if it's really a circle anymore. It is certainly more of a 4D looking shape, but the fact that it is still going, what the hell is going on here? I mean, I guess this shows on a tiny scale just how currents interact. You know, obviously two things are just kind of colliding and, you know, they kind of share some parts, get rid of other parts, but really in the end they end up as one big system. But in saying that, even though it is definitely cool, I just don't know if it's a true kind of Black Magic Ridiculous post that I'm looking for. You know, I just want to be left completely speechless and just have no idea how it's just happened or even just what has just happened. I mean, I guess to be fair, we generally do get those kind of posts towards the top of the month, but really this one I just feel as though is quite explainable, even though it is quite cool. I mean, I certainly would not have predicted that that would happen, you know, just the fact that the entire motion or current within the circle just completely spins, or maybe that's the air current, I really don't know. And I wonder, in saying that, did they have to create these bubbles spinning the same way? Because, you know, you create the bubble kind of just by flicking your hand, I'm fairly sure. And so did they create these bubbles through the same spin or opposite spin? Because if it's opposite spin, you know, one of them has to win and one of them has to overcome the other. And so I can only imagine there was the same directional spin. But, you know, now I want to see what happens when you collide two opposing spinning bubbles. Also, don't get me wrong, the slow motion is cool, but I wish we had kind of a sense of scale about how quick that is. You know, I'm fairly sure it might be kind of 4 times slower, or is it 8 times slower? Because I feel as though it's a little bit difficult to get a sense of scale about how quickly those two bubbles just merge together into this one monster bubbly thing. But no, nice work. And I guess in the spirit of the Venn diagram, this is the kind of thing that you get when you cross humans to just nature in general. Harrison Ford has a what the hell moment. Alrighty then, is that David Blaine? What kind of magic trick are we going to see here? Or look at him, he's so intrigued. Even let me listen though. What are we going to
Do I know what card you're
Do I know what card you think of? No. Look at him, he's just trying to figure out where those magic trick is going, but in anticipation, he just also has no idea. Okay, we've got a 9 of hearts. That is the card that I only can suspect that is going to be in this orange. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Look at them. We don't give the poor guy a heart attack. He's already been stabbed through like a Kylo Ren, so he certainly doesn't need to be exposed to that kind of bodily trauma. And then at the end here, look, I just put it back, but look, he said, get the hell out of my house, because he's just not having any of whatever witchcraft that guy's doing. But yeah, I just had to check it because I feel as though I might be getting mixed up, but no, it is definitely David Blaine. But my goodness, does this guy just have ridiculous skills in the amount of times and the amount of videos that I've seen where he just completely destroys people's minds. And really, I guess this is another one. And in the end, just induces that kind of reaction where people just cannot believe what they're seeing. I mean, I would love to see this in front of me or actually have it done to me, because even though I trust that there's nothing dodgy going on here in terms of setup and editing and everything like that, at the same time, I just feel as though a little bit of the effect or a lot of the effect is actually lost when you're just observing it through a video. So even though, like I said, David Blaine nearly gave Harrison Ford a heart attack just by kind of, I don't know, through surprise, at the same time, I just wish that I could experience this level of magic, because I've never had anything close to it. But just look at that, I can't explain how the hell do you put a card in an orange in the first place, let alone the fact that it has to be the correct card. And the fact that even though we don't see it bring a brand new deck, it doesn't even matter, because realistically you would think, unless there's some kind of subliminal messaging, which is the only way I can ever see anything like this happening. But really, the fact that Harrison Ford could have chosen any card in the entire deck and David just gets him to hold and goes, oh well, your card just left the deck, you know, he literally has it in his hands and it left. Like, how is that explainable? Let alone the fact that, like I said, somehow that card actually got into the fruit, and really, he said just grab any piece of fruit. I mean, did he actually prompt him to take the orange or not? No, he didn't even tell him to take the orange. He just said grab a piece of fruit and kind of gestured towards the fruit bowl, as far as I'm aware. And so from an outside perspective, from someone like me who just has no idea how it's done, this magic trick is just so ridiculous because of the amount of variables that have to be taken into consideration for it to work. I mean, you know, you got 52 cards in the deck and then all those pieces of fruit on the counter. And so yeah, what can I say? This is unreal and definitely belongs in this sub. This is a healing grid. If you stare at the center, the irregularities start to heal themselves because your brain strongly prefers to see regular patterns. Alright then, I'm going to stare at it for a while and kind of see what happens. Oh yeah, no, I can see what is going on here. Yeah, the right side's going. Oh, I think it just came back a little bit. Oh, I'm just struggling to get the corners. I can't get it. Oh, I'm staring at it, but I can't get past the entire thing. It's certainly about, I don't know, 3/4 full, 80% or something like that, but I just can't get the entire grid to go. Oh, now I've just lost it. The entire grid just immediately just shrunk back in. But no, wow, that's incredible that your brain just tried to smooth all that out. Like I said, it obviously prefers to see it. What did it say? Prefers to see regular patterns. Yeah, so of course it makes sense in terms of why it wants to kind of put it together, but really at the same time, it's like, really, Grain, come on, stop being confused. It is clearly not what it is. I mean, I do wonder if this would work as well if you didn't have the middle being as perfect, because I can only imagine that given the fact that the middle is perfect, it gives the brain a nice reference point about what it should look like, and then so once you actually move out of into your peripheral vision, then it just kind of goes, oh, I guess that's what it should be. Oh, I just had to stare at it for another 5 seconds, but my goodness, that hurt my eyes, let alone my brain. I think actually last time I chose the wrong thing to stare at. I was actually staring at the white lines, but really you should be staring at this little bit here, this square here. Instead, I would think I was staring at one of these corners thinking that that was actually a middle point, but no, it's actually a square. So then when I actually just do completely stare at it, oh my goodness, it hurts my eyes to do this, but my goodness, yeah, I can really see that the entire thing just goes into one. Oh, I don't even want to look at it anymore, but the entire thing really does heal, so to say. But to be honest, I never really know how to feel about optical illusions on this sub, because yeah, they're cool and yeah, they're kind of unexplainable in terms of from the brain's perspective, but at the same time, I just really don't feel as though it takes any skill, or I don't know, I guess it has to take a little bit of research, or I guess someone out there has to try and think it up, but to be honest, we don't really know if it hits home in terms of what I expect or what I would just really want from a black magic post, because if nothing else, it just kind of hurts your eyes and then also just makes your brain feel a little bit stupid. And hey, I don't trust myself to be doing the heavy lifting on a black magic post. I would just want to kind of be given on a silver platter like the last one, so I just don't know if this one is just kind of truly hits home in terms of a black magic post, because if nothing else, I feel as though journaling illusions do go against the kind of the main title of the thing, where they just have no explainable explanation. And considering the fact that we know it's an optical illusion, I feel as though that just explains it right then and there. Metal memory items return to their original shape under heat. Well then, I feel as though this one has been a little bit spoiled, but yeah, look at that. Well, that is just satisfying. Why are we having so many satisfying posts? Look, oh, what is this going to be? It's obviously it's going to be a spring. Look at this. It's actually just kind of like a time of a butterfly emerging from its cocoon, or I guess just generally people in the mornings are just going, oh, just a little bit stiff, but I'm going to get there in the end. And then eventually, after doing a whole bunch of stretching and limbering up, then you go, okay, I'm good to go. And then you end up like that spring right there, but a little bit more coiled up and ready. But no, I wish we got to see more of these. Obviously, there's a paperclip in the spring, but I wish there was just so many more. You know, that would certainly be something that I could watch all day and repeat. Just these pieces of metal that, like the title said, have so much memory ingrained in them that they're just going to go, okay, I guess it's time to go home. I mean, I guess that is exactly what a paperclip and a spring have been designed to do, you know, just exploit the elastic properties of metal, because even though you might not think it is actually a super elastic material. But no, the fact that something can be that destroyed and just end up being completely fine after you add a little bit of heat to it, I mean, I wish humans had this kind of superpower, because, you know, let's say you fall over and you break your arm, or you're wishing, you go, oh, I guess that sucks, but you don't worry about it, I'm just going to have a hot bath or a hot shower, and then, you know, I'll be right as rain. But in saying that, sadly, once again, I just don't know if this really is a truly black magic ridiculous post, because I don't know, I just feel as though I can explain it, you know, just through the elastic properties of metal and just how it wants to retain its original shape, because especially when heating, the entire thing just wants to realign exactly how it was originally forged. So don't get me wrong, it's definitely cool to see a metal caterpillar just in reverse like this, but really, I just don't know if it is just completely unexplainable, because it just is what the properties of metal are like. And especially given the fact that they chose pieces of the metal that, like I said, are just so designed to do what they've done here. So I just don't know if it is truly black magic. I mean, if you can show me an I-beam that has been bent like this and then doing the same thing, then more power to you. And also, I eat my words. But until that time, I'm just going to be sitting on the fence going, is it black magic or is it not? Magicians hijacking Sky News. Alright, well, let's try and figure out where the hell these two magicians are. Okay, so it's not those two guys. Those guys are just taking photos of it. Oh, but no, here we go. These guys are just wheeling in their entire contraption. Look at this. The guy doesn't even notice. I mean, I can only imagine the cameraman has noticed. But considering the fact that it would just be set up and locked up on a tripod, that's certainly not going to suddenly get him to move. But look at this in the background. Oh my goodness. What the hell is going on back there? That is just insane. And here we go. The cameraman is finally taking control, because they're going, nah, enough of this. You were taking too much attention away from, I don't know, what is he even talking about? Obviously, we have no audio either. But no, nice work to these two guys, because that is certainly a way to get, well, at least if nothing else, just some coverage of whatever your show is. And also to be able to do it that well on live TV, where there clearly isn't going to be any cutting or editing involved. And so really it's just a perfect way to show that, look, we're not faking it. This is definitely just what we did. You know, try and explain it if you can. Also, I feel as though this video could just belong on so many subs, from, I don't know, just unexpected to oddly satisfying, just as the guy just kind of smooshes in, and then also maybe something like there was an attempt, because there was clearly an attempt on both behalves to kind of steal the show, and really we know who won. But to be honest, I feel as though everyone actually won in this situation. You know, the magicians in the background got the coverage that they obviously wanted, and then also, you know, the amount of people that have now seen this video, and just of this reporter, it certainly makes his career, I can only imagine, a little bit bigger, because it certainly wasn't his fault. He didn't do anything wrong. He maintained his entire composure throughout the entire thing. I mean, actually, I wonder if he knew what was going on behind him. That is definitely a question that I'd love answered. But either way, I can only imagine that it elevates his career to some extent, because suddenly you just have so many eyes that would otherwise never be seeing you, just like mine. So hey, I guess if nothing else, this video is just a perfect example of professionals being professionals. You know, the guys in the background are clearly doing it quite well, and then I guess even the cameraman tried to do his job. He didn't actually manage too well, considering the fact that they were still in frame, because he couldn't go too close. And so all things considered, I feel as though this is actually one of the most wholesome black magic posts we've ever seen. 5G finally arriving in my town. Oh, well, there we go. I can't even look at it, let alone even show it. So then I guess we'll move along to truly black magic is involved. What are we going to have here? Ooh, we got another true magician's trick. What are we going to have? Oh, is that someone under there? Holy moly, this is it. Oh my goodness. I can't even ever begin to understand how this kind of thing is done, you know, because especially from this angle, we've seen it the entire time. We can see that that there's no crazy stage rises, we can see that there's not a massive box behind her that she's hiding in. It just really doesn't make sense to me. How can anyone just be hiding in a cloth? I mean, I guess obviously these guys know because they are able to do it, but really to the common man like me, it just blows my mind. And even though, like I said, I've seen this type of magic trick a million times before, just every single time it just doesn't get any more explainable. It's not like I go, oh yes, of course, so you can see this time how they did it. No, it's just literally a woman was hiding in a piece of sheet. And even when I really look at it, the only thing I can see is that there was a little bit of a chair rock, but I go, you know, because she's sitting on the front of the chair, so I can only imagine that's when she actually sat down on it. You know, where and when does she come out of it? Look, like she's there, or is she not there yet? Is she sitting there now? Is she coming out of it now? Okay, what the hell and how is it possible? I don't understand. So yeah, I just don't really know what to say about this entire thing, because like the title said, there is clearly black magic involved. There is no two ways about it. Someone had to do something even a little bit freaky. And then in the end, we just have a woman just emerging out of thin air. And I guess, hey, we're finally getting towards the top of the month post. And like I said, just towards the top of the month, it just becomes so unexplainable and just, I don't ever get it. And really, this one is absolutely no exception. I mean, I can only imagine it isn't top of the month because, you know, I guess people have probably seen it before, and so it takes away a little bit of the wow factor. But in saying that, who am I kidding? It just never, ever gets old just seeing someone just emerge from thin air. It really is just an incredible magic trick or misdirection or whatever kind of thing they're using to do it. Especially when most of the time that we see something appear, it's just something little, I don't know, just like a card out of nowhere or a coin or anything like that. Not an entire human being that was not sitting on a chair and then suddenly is sitting on a chair. So yeah, I guess what I was going to say to this video besides congratulations to these three people, because they clearly have incredible stage presence, and also just like everyone in the last post, they are clearly professionals at their craft, and so well done to these three. You have certainly blown my mind, and so I hope whatever you had to sacrifice to be able to pull this off was worth it. And so now finally for the top of the month for black magic, we have cats are liquids. Oh my goodness, where is it emerging from? Whoa, that is literally just like a water leak out of a cupboard. My goodness, I've only seen mouse or I don't know, other little rodents do that, but I've never seen a cat do that. Is it just trying to wiggle its, yep, just like that, no worries, man, I'm just out of a cupboard. And even just the eyes on the cat, it's certainly kind of summoning some demons to be able to do that. And look at it, just finally making its way out of the gateways of hell. And then it just gets up and pretends nothing ever happened, as though it just didn't emerge from the secret cat lair. Because really, everyone has to know by now the cats definitely have a secret lair somewhere where they're planning to take over the world, and this is just one of the entries. But no, I'm just wondering if the other cat on the left is just watching the cat going, what the hell is going on here? Or is it actually just going, oh, well, I guess, yeah, just Jerry's emerging again, you know? Because at the start here, it certainly looks as though it's watching quite intently, and then all of a sudden the cat emerges, and then it's like, oh yeah, no worries, I'm just going to tell me, you know, it's just another day in cat world. But no, really, that is incredible, and I want to see what the underside of that looks like, and where the hell does it go? It doesn't make sense to me, because like I said, it only looks like a gap that a cockroach would be able to get in and out of, let alone an entire cat. So it feels like we are getting done in a little bit by the perspective of what we can see here, but really, it's, from what we can see here, it just looks ridiculous. And hey, really, like I said, especially with those eyes, cats are just aliens that are planning to take over the world, and so it would not surprise me one bit if they actually had a superpower where they can turn to liquids, and that's how they just get into random places all the time. Because from what we actually can see here, how else do you explain it besides that's just a water leak of a cat? And so who knows, maybe the cats are the original source of every magic trick you've ever seen, you know, they're just aliens slowly filtering their knowledge down to us peasants of humans, and this is just a magic trick that we weren't really meant to see yet, you know, this is like 20 years down the track, this is one they were going to go, okay, they've got an entire schedule and they were going to release it to the humans then. Because exactly like I said, and I guess a whole bunch of people agree with me, this is definitely a black magic ridiculousness that has no other explanation besides cats are liquids. So yeah, what can I say? I feel as though I don't often agree with the top of the month post for these subs, but really from what I can see, which isn't really much, but I'm just chalking it down to cat magic instead of black magic, because that is just ridiculous. But anyway, that is going to do it for the top of the month for black magic, so thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to do the YouTube algorithmic things down below. Let me know if you had a favorite post out of any of these. Other than that, we check out awesome posts all over Reddit, so make sure you check some of the other videos out now. Or hey, maybe you just want to consider subscribing so you don't miss another one of these in the future. But all in all, have a good one and see ya.